Hi there, Brady Barrows with the RRDi, and I thought I would talk today to you about my personal regimen on how I treat my rosacea. So let's talk about first prescription medication. I do believe in dermatologists and I go listen to them and I try to follow their directions. I've been doing this for many, many years. The very first dermatologist I saw was in 1985 who diagnosed me with rosacea, and I took tetracycline for years, every day, and it controlled my rosacea, no problem. But as anyone knows, taking long-term antibiotic, there's some side effects. Sensitive skin to the sun, your teeth enamel start to erode, and upset stomach, and you name it. There's a long list, long list. And so I remember, I can't remember, sometime like in the 90s, I think. He told me, the dermatologist said, "Oh, look, we got this new thing. It's called metronidazole," which was at that time, it was called Metro Gel. That was the brand name. "You don't have to take your antibiotic. You can just use this." I said, "Great." And so I tried that. And of course, it didn't really work. It worked a little bit, but no. And I went back to him and he said, "Well, you're going to have to take the tetracycline with the metronidazole." And so I did that for many years. And anyway, I wasn't satisfied. And so eventually what happened was around 2003, around there, that's when I discovered, after my wife read this book about, it was called Sugar Blues. And she said, "You ought to read this." And so I read it and I went, huh. And I discovered that if you stop eating sugar, your skin clears up. And so what I did was I wrote on the internet, at that time, 94, right? I don't know, what year was it? Yeah, somewhere around there. And uh, I said, "Hey, this is a great rosacea diet. Just don't eat sugar." And wow, it worked. Everybody was giving me emails back and everything saying, "Yeah, it works." And it was confirming what I discovered, that sugar is a rosacea trigger. I mean, big time, including all carbohydrate. If you eat a high carbohydrate diet, carbohydrate is just different kinds of sugar. And so it worked. And so then I wrote two books. First, I wrote the Rosacea Diet, and then I wrote another book in 2007 called Rosacea 101. And that's how mostly I control my rosacea, is with diet. But of course, I cheat. And when I cheat, it's written all over my face. So my wife really gets all over me and she says, "Oh, you've been eating sugar again," because I'll do it, secretly. So anyway, that's how I mostly control it. And lately, I've been doing pretty good. My regimen is working pretty good. If you'll see up close, here's my face, this side, and I'll go over like this. Here's my face on this side. And let me tell you, I've been to lots of dermatologists in New Mexico, Massachusetts, Hawaii, and now here in Alabama. I've been to all these dermatologists. My last dermatologist, well, let's go back to Hawaii. My Hawaiian dermatologist, Dr. Sakamoto, he told me that I have not only rosacea, but I have seborrheic dermatitis on my forehead, around here, okay? SD, seborrheic dermatitis. And then when I went to the one here in Alabama, I was having issues with my scalp back here in the back, mostly back in here and along the sides, really itchy. And I'm thinking, maybe the mites are going up there. What's going on? And so Dr. Harper here in Alabama said, "You have folliculitis." And I go, "What?" So now I got folliculitis, I got seborrheic dermatitis, and I got rosacea, right? And so she prescribed this new regimen. Now here's what she prescribed. She said, "Here, Finacea. You need Finacea. Try Finacea." Okay? I said, "Okay." And then she also prescribed this, doxycycline, and if you'll notice, it's 20 milligrams. Notice that, 20 milligrams. I take this twice a day, right? And she said to put the Finacea back there as well as all over my face and over my forehead, everywhere. Put the Finacea. Okay, I used it. Here's the problem with Finacea. It's a brand name drug, and it's very expensive. And my insurance, it covers some, a huge amount, but I got to pay this copayment that's ridiculous. And so anyway, I talked to the doctor, and she gave me this. It's generic azelaic acid. Same thing, just generic. And it's generic. It's cheap. So I went to this, and I have a tiny little bit of this, and I do prefer this. I mean, a brand name is better, but, not everybody can afford it. So I'm using this, and I put this all over the back of my scalp and all over my face and everything, and I'm taking the doxycycline twice a day. I've been doing this for months now, and it's cleared everything up. The azelaic acid works pretty good, but it wasn't really working perfect with the folliculitis. And so what I did was I'd been reading a lot, I know a whole bunch about rosacea. And so everybody says you should get this, which is tea tree oil, right? Now you don't ever want to use tea tree oil on your face. This stuff is really strong. In rosacea sensitive skin, this is way too much. Don't even try it. What a lot of rosaceans do is they mix it like 50-50 with like rosehip oil or some other oil, okay, that they're not sensitive to. But I don't do that. I just put the tea tree oil straight, full strength, on all those little itchy things, and man, it takes away the itch. It's amazing. And then what I do is I get baby shampoo. Yep, we can get it here in Alabama really cheap. I mean, you can go to a dollar store and get this for $1, okay? And you should put about 2 tablespoons of this in here. But in this particular one, I put 3. I was a little generous. I put 3 tablespoons of tea tree oil in this, and this is 10 ounces. And what you do is you shampoo with this. I shampoo twice. Okay, I put it all over my face too, all of it, on my back of my neck, everywhere. And I do it once, and then I use a little scrubber and scrub my hair really good, and then rinse, and then I do it again and let it sit for like 5 minutes while I'm in the shower, and just let it sit. And I'm telling you that this regimen so far has been the best. Now, with this, what I do is I'll use this one day, like at night before I go to bed, and just put it on the red spots wherever I'm seeing red spots. Or I may put it, like all over if I want. And then I do that one night, and then the next night I use this. This has been my favorite of all time, the ZZ cream. If you haven't tried the ZZ cream, I urge you to try it. This stuff works. And this is the original. I've tried the cosmetic version too, and it works just as good. It costs like $5 more. So this one here, the original ZZ cream, try it out. And I put that on one night, and then the next night I may go back to this, the azelaic acid gel, and put it on my face. And that's the only thing I put on my face is the azelaic acid and then the ZZ cream. And then some nights I may skip a night, let my skin just heal. It's okay. And well, look, man, I've got really bad things. I got 3 things: rosacea, seborrheic dermatitis, and folliculitis, and this is working. That's my regimen. Now, what else do I do? Well, besides avoiding sugar and carbohydrate, which really works, try it. The other thing is I'm a firm believer in taking vitamins and supplements, okay? And in my books, my 2 books, I mention this and I give you lists. But here's my current regimen, okay? Vitamin C, this is 1,000 milligrams. I take 1 of these twice a day, Okay, I take it in the morning and in the evening. Okay, so that's one. Okay, all right. I take a complete vitamin, just anything you can find, any kind of multivitamin, just one of these a day. I take one lysine, 500 milligrams, one a day. Okay, now here's one I take twice a day. This one is called Cardio Plus. Well, I got a heart condition, and I went to this because somebody told me about it, and it's really good. And so I take 4 of these twice a day, and then usually at lunch I take 3 of them. Okay, and this is kind of pricey, but it's worth it if you got a heart condition. Okay, but it may affect my rosacea. I don't know. Okay, what else? Well, I take an acidophilus to counteract the antibiotic. I take 2 of these a day. Okay, just any old acidophilus. That's a big controversy. Everybody says you got to have this kind. I don't believe it. I just take acidophilus. Here's a potassium, 99 milligrams, 1 a day. Okay, I take MSM because rosaceans talk about this all the time. Take MSM. I take 1 of these a day. I take a vitamin E. This is a 400 IUs or 180 milligrams of vitamin E. 1 a day. 1 a day. Okay, I take magnesium. Now I take 2 of these in the morning and 1 of these at night. And I do that because magnesium is really good for you, especially you know what for. And then I take this calcium. I take a calcium. It also has some vitamin D3, but calcium 600. I take 1 of these a day. Okay. I take folic acid. I know that's mostly for women, but my wife says, you should take it too, so I take it. What the heck? I take 1 of those. And then we learned about this from an attorney who posted that he took this right here. It's lutein and zeaxanthin. It's a combo. And he took this, and he said it just cleared up his rosacea. Well, it didn't work for me, but I take it because I think it helps. It's I take 1 of these a day. Okay, I think it helps. And then what else do I have? Oh, there's a whole bunch of discussion about how rosaceans need to improve their gut, and I take betaine, hydrochloric, and pepsin. I take 1 of these a day. 1. And then, okay, I didn't have the bottle, sorry, but this is vitamin B complex. Lost the bottle. Anyway, we don't need to talk about that. But anyway, any vitamin B complex, 1 a day. Just 1. You got to be careful with vitamin B. I forget which one it is now. My brain doesn't remember all these things. But one of them, I think it's B3 or whatever. I can look it up for you if you can't figure it out. But it's niacin. It'll cause flushing. So you got to be careful. But I think when you just take a vitamin B complex, there's not enough niacin in it to cause the flush. But if you take niacin by itself, it could cause flushing. And you know how rosaceans avoid flushing. Okay, so that's pretty much my regimen. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that some of this might give you an idea on how to control your rosacea. Everybody's different. There's not one way to control rosacea. Everybody's got so many ways. That's why we have so many things on the RRDi website to show you. We have everything rosacea. Do you want to keep the RRDi going? Do you want to have rosacea sufferers in a group that is a nonprofit? Hey, think about supporting the RRDi. I'd appreciate you listening to my regimen and looking at my videos. And I'm going to keep doing more videos for as long as we have the money to keep the RRDi going. So, aloha, howdy, goodbye. Thank you for watching Brady Barrows Regimen.